Now, one last thing. What do you say to people who have who refuse to believe this?
Then I leave them alone.
That's fine. Say,
Yeah.
my God is up in heaven. He
Yeah.
looks like this.
Yeah,
and I'm eternal.
that's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And they're not wrong.
No, nobody's wrong, you see.
Because that's their belief.
That's their belief, yes.
But
eventually it comes back to feeling and thinking.
And feeling is different because it's more than a belief.
Yes, feeling is immediate. A belief can be changed, can be shaken. You see, a true feeling, when we want to feel what is at the moment, if the desire to feel, how real is this, and we go into it, we will eventually hit upon that center, that stillness, that silence, that knowing. You see, and then we come to know that what we call God is not an entity, is not something outside of us. It is love itself, the optimum feeling, the optimum knowingness of is.
And what's a way to feel this feeling for people who don't?
By wanting to know what is real, by wanting to know what is true, more than anything. So a person who's very struck up by their belief, oh I know, I'm okay, you leave them alone.
Yeah.
And eventually, when they start to suffer, because they will, you see, then they have to stop and say, okay, I want to look at what is. I want to see what is. See, all a teacher does, it doesn't teach you anything you don't already know. You see? But the difference between a teacher and somebody listening, the teacher is somebody who has realized that there are no people out there. There is no person out there. There's just us, oneness, talking to itself. This is oneness talking to itself. Right?
Monologue.
Right. But you're asking questions and I'm supposedly giving answers. But what is happening is that as far as the movement of life is concerned, I have worked at this for more years and I've asked myself many times the questions, and then it all came to me, says, well, of course it's so obvious.
Yeah.
At this point, you might still not see it as clearly as I do. That's the difference. But the truth, you still already know.
But so for these people who want to find out, who want to know,
right?
I know you've given many, but what's an exercise? What's it like? What do they ask themselves when you know?
Yeah, one of the things that I have found very, very good is to ask really what's here, what's now. For example, one of the things that I found that helpful, like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi used to say, ask who am I? And people always thought that there's going to get an answer for it. Well, the moment you ask who am I, people says, but nothing happens.
Who am I? Yeah.
Yeah, who am I? Because, why? Simply, very simple. Nothing can happen because who's going to answer that question? The mind does not know.
But the mind will say, I am Burt.
I am Burt. Right. So therefore, I have found that asking, what am I?
Yeah.
You see, which is very similar. And what am I? There can be an answer to it. For example, what am I right now? Really? What are you right now?
I exist.
And what is it that exists right now?
There's a life. There's a force.
What is it that is existing right now?
Life.
Okay, so what you mean by life is?
I mean, there's a flow of energy.
There's a flow of energy.
I feel
you
that
can feel it. You're aware.
I'm living.
Of
yeah,
it.
there you go. I feel I'm living.
That's right. You're living. That feeling. Now, what is that feeling?
It's
okay. So we can answer it this way.
It's just there.
Because I want to talk from how I did it.
Yeah.
Okay. When I asked what is, I says, yeah, there is this feeling that I'm existing. I am here. I am now. And then there was another part that said to me, but doesn't everybody in this whole world, the whole 6 billion people, feel the same way? Yes.
Yeah, they all, yes.
So therefore we're all one, isn't it? So therefore it isn't just mine, what I feel, what I know, it is universal. And therefore we're all one. And that oneness is called unified field of experience. It's a oneness, it's love. It is totality, it is truth. It is the God in us talking from one to one. You see? And when we talk about God, of course, we think of somebody outside of us. So we can use the word pure awareness, pure knowing, pure feeling.
Right.
You see? Yeah.
Because we all feel the same way.
We all feel, ultimately, the feeling, that's why I wrote that booklet.
Yeah.
You see, feeling, knowing. Because in the beginning, when I talk about feeling, people think, oh, but my emotions are anger and fear and all this. That's emotional feeling. When I talk about feeling, is going back to that feeling of fear, that feeling of loneliness. Go back to its primal feeling. What are you really feeling? And the moment you look at it in the moment, you'll find that all it was separation. But separation is not possible in the now. How can anything be separate in the now? I mean, if I'm Skyping somebody in Germany and I am here, the time is totally different. But as we talk, it is now. It is happening now. Everything is happening now. Everything is alive now. And in the now, there is no separation. So as I bring it to now, I begin to realize that my feeling of fear is all based on what I had envisioned as separation from my conditioning. I am separate from other people because I saw them as bodies. Oh, you're separate from me. But ultimately, we're exactly the same. You know, in our feeling nature.
Yes.
So as I go back to what really is in the moment, and I trace it back to its source, I find that primal feeling of oneness. And then where is separation? Where is fear? Where is anger? Where is suffering? You see? And I'll find in the now, here we are. We just are. And then there is that feeling of, everything is okay, everything is fine. Yeah, everything is fine. And then when you say everything is fine, how do you feel? That's called love.
Right.
You see?
Right.
You feel good. You feel connected. You feel one.
Is there any peace in the mind?
When we call peace of mind,
Yeah.
it's a redundant statement because the mind can never be at peace. The mind is activity. The mind is change. The mind is thought.
You cannot have any deep knowing of this through the mind.
No, because mind is movement. Mind is creation. Mind creates. It is thought. Mind is thought.
So we cannot trust the mind.
No, not really, because it's the law of attraction. You see, whatever you believe to be true is true.
So why is the mind there? To make us suffer?
No,
to turn us away from it?
But this is such a beautiful question.
Because some people have such beautiful minds, right? Or powerful minds.
Yes, and you have a beautiful mind. See,
lots of questions.
Mind is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But as long as we make the mind superior to awareness, we become slaves to it.
Yes.
People suffer because they are victims of the mind. But the mind is a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Do you know that all creativity is mind? All creativity is mind.
Yes.
Yes. So we are creating a conversation now.
Right. Through the mind.
Isn't it beautiful? Right.
But what we're pointing at is that is there something beyond the words? Don't look at the words. We're pointing at something else.
Yes. All the time, as long as we know, we use the mind to point us to that which is, okay? Then we're making use of the mind. Like when Bhagavata Ramana Maharshi gave us the question, who am I? It was a question from the mind. Who am I? You see? But it leads you back to beyond the mind.
Right.
So we can use the mind to go beyond the mind. And that is the reason for having mind. Because we are creators. We create our reality. We create the world. You can make yourself as abundant as you want to be. You can make yourself anything you want to be. All you have to do is believe it. And it will come.
Yes.
All you have to do is believe it and allow it to manifest, and it will manifest. Because everything that is good and beautiful and true can be manifested in form. You see? So that is the beauty of the mind. But if you fall victim of the mind, you believe that what it's giving you is real itself, it is reality,
Yeah.
then we fall victims of the mind and we suffer.